Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Rewind. That is your girl Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Come in, come in. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell when I go live and when I upload videos and all that good stuff. Okay, today I am doing the catching up on Atlanta as promised. You know, I like to have playlists on my channel. So for people like me who want to catch up and they haven't been watching it on schedule, we are going to be going over the final season of Atlanta, season 4, episodes 8 through 10. All right. And don't worry, guys, because I am going to be, I do owe you guys 5, 6, and 7. And they're definitely coming. Don't worry. It's not going to be a live though. So normally to keep up with what I do with my schedule, which is normally it's 8 o'clock live, but I'm, a little late tonight. Had to push it back. So what I need to do is just talk about this episode. Listen, I wanted to go live to talk about the series finale at least. You know, all the other ones, they're pre-recorded. So I definitely wanted to talk live with you guys. Hopefully, many of you come on, but probably not because you've seen it already, but it's all good. Hi, Marcus Terry. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I do have to plug up my computer, which I forgot to do. So can you hold on, please? Sorry about that. Okie dokie. And I am back. All right, now. So the first episode that we're going to be discussing tonight is episode number 8, and it's called The Goof Who Sat by the Door. All right. And so this story is about a Black man who becomes the CEO of Disney. All right. His name is Thomas Washington. And this actually happened on accident, right? Because he was voted for accidentally due to having a similar name as another employee, a white employee whose first name was Thompson Washington. Okay, so it's all about, Tom. All right, so let's see. So they couldn't undo this mistake. So what happened was, because there were too many eyes on them already because of Beauty and the Beast. So Tom, he took this time to making certain changes at Disney. Now, at this time, he went on and he decided that he wanted to make the blackest movie ever, which we know now as the Goofy movie. And first of all, Thomas, he done came to the conclusion that Goofy is black. He's come to the conclusion that Goofy was black because of the creator of the Goofy character came to his school. And I guess based on the characteristics, Thomas was like, you're describing a black guy, So then he came up with this like cartoon called Goofy Please, like in other words saying nigga please. Okay, so now let's just get that straight. Like I said, that Goofy is a black character, right? So eventually he got so wrapped up in his work that he started to lose his mind, and he wound up losing his family also. So it was kind of sad, he also wound up losing his position as CEO, and they tried to pay him $75 million to like buy him out of his contract, according to one of the white guys that was doing the documentary. So this is a mockumentary, guys, not a real documentary. So one of the white guys that was talking, he was saying we paid them we tried to pay him $75 million, and it was going to be offered over 10 years. And the black guy was like, it was this black guy right here. He was saying that they offered 75,000. So the other guy was like, no, that's not true. Okay. The bottom line is that he didn't take it. Okay. So it was all because he was losing control of the budget. And then he also started to actually think that he was Goofy. All right. Now, like I said, either way, he didn't take the buyout. Now, look at this picture right here. It's like, what the heck is up with this goofy looking picture? It looks so stupid. I was actually annoyed by seeing this picture, to be honest. I didn't like it at all. But, this guy, he wanted so many different things to happen with this Goofy movie, to the point where I guess he was trying to convey a message of, things that are going on in the Black culture, like actually having Goofy shot in the movie, either pulled over by the cops and getting shot by the cops, or going to getting shot at the Powerline concert. So, it was a lot. It was a lot going on. And like I said, he was definitely trying to make a statement. Also, it's kind of made clear that he was suffering from like mental illness, and eventually he disappeared. And his car was found at the bottom of a lake where he went fishing with his son, but his body was never found. So what I have to say about this whole thing is that, it was cool. I thought that it was very creative and everything, but I did not care for it at the time because, like many of you, I wasn't watching the episodes week by week. I was binge watching on it. So with me being in that mindset of okay, I'm about to be entertained, because a lot of these episodes just had me freaking cracking up. All right. So when I get to this episode, I wasn't in the mood. So it made me turn off the television, and then I had to go back the next day to watch it. But like I said, I love the fact that, I just love the creativity of this whole mockumentary. It's awesome, and I like the fact that they were trying to still convey a message. And, it kind of made me feel like, this could be happening in Hollywood too, where we're giving praise to certain people that, oh, this is the first Black such and such of this company. So he became like the first the first Black CEO of Disney, but it was on accident. So it made me wonder how many stories are out there like that for real, but they're covered up because they can't undo the mistake, you know what I'm saying? And if they make it known that it was an accident, then it's just going to be more heat on them, so they had to deal with him being the CEO. Also around this time that he was the CEO, like I said, he lost his family because he got so wrapped up in it that he started to act like Goofy and think he was Goofy, and he had like a goofy laugh and all that. Like he was just going crazy. But it was also to the point where he was trying to make like the artist depict the Goofy character in the right way. Like that's not how Black people dance. So he would do a dance for the artist and be like, make sure you study my feet and what I'm doing. This is how Black people do it, and that's what you need to do. All right. So that was that. Okay. So that also they had what I did like about this episode is that they had Brian McKnight. I like seeing him, and Sinbad. And I also liked seeing Tevin Campbell, like the part where Tevin Campbell was dancing and singing and stuff, and they showed, the Rodney King situation. Like they had a lot of things going on in this mockumentary, which was cool. But anyway, that's it for episode number 8. This is another reason why I wanted to go live. There's another reason why I wanted to go live and talk about it, because I kind of just wanted to gloss over this one really quick. Hi, Tina. And so that's that. So now let's move on to episode number 9, which is called Andrew Wyeth, Alfred's World. All right. So we see that Alfred is on a farm. Remember, he was saying in, I think, what was that, episode number 7, probably, whichever episode that was, that's called Crank That Killer. He had said that he wanted to, get himself a farm, for, getting that peace and tranquility and all of that stuff. And so we see that he's out there in the woods doing some target practice. And we also see that he is ignoring phone calls. Like Ern is trying to call. And he's just like, all right, let me let the phone finish ringing out, and then let me finish, shooting this tree up. Okay. And honestly, this is like no other farm that I've ever seen. I'm a city girl, but at the same time, I've relocated to South Jersey, and there's a lot of farms out here, and they don't look anything like that. Like it's just very, very woodsy. And you got the water over there. I don't know what that was, a creek. I don't know what that was, but yeah, it just didn't look too much like a farm to me. All right. So anyway, he's loving this farm. He's got on this farm and he's growing marijuana. All right. And he is just in love. And we also see that there's an issue where he can see that there's an animal that's chewing up the wood on the shed. So he goes to the nearest convenience store, and now he wants to get some animal repellent and also what is that? A skillet. He's asking the man, "Do you have any of those things?" The guy says no. Oh my gosh, guys, I did not notice the I did not notice like the Confederate flag sign behind this man. This is insane. I did not notice that. So he's over there saying, well, if it's not on the shelf, it's probably not there, but I can check, right? So he checks to see if there's any skillets. They don't have skillets. And he said, well, I can order you a skillet. It's going to take about 2 weeks or a couple of weeks, he said. And what you go, I was like, what? Ain't nobody trying to wait all of them weeks. He said, it's okay. But he didn't say all this, but he said, it's okay. I'm just going to go and get it from somebody else. I'm gonna get it from somewhere else. So the guy is like, you're gonna order it from Amazon, ain't you? So we see Al look up at the sign that's next to that flag, and it says, we don't call the police. And it's like, oh shoot, so what the heck does this mean? Does that mean that y'all take care of business on your own? So Al is like, oh no, it's okay. We don't, I'm not going to Amazon. But anyway, so he basically leaves, and later on that night he hears a noise while he's in the kitchen. He comes out and he steps in doo-doo first of all, and then he sees that whatever animal was in there, they have got to his precious weed. So now he goes back to the store and he's showing the pictures of the doo-doo and whatever, and the guy is telling him, well, this, it looks like you've got some feral hogs, okay? And, what is it that you're growing? So Al lies and says corn. So he says, oh man, they love that stuff. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to set out some bait. And then when you spot the hog, you're going to have to shoot him in the nose and then keep on shooting until he's down. I'm like, yo. So Al is like, can we just can I just poison him? I don't really want to be doing all of that. But the man tells Al that he doesn't seem to understand the severity of the situation. Like, you got to kill these things before they kill you, right? And so Alfred, as usual, he's not taking this thing seriously. I've seen throughout the history of this show, when people say like weird things that sound kind of unbelievable, Alfred, he laughs about it. And it's so crazy because the very thing that he laughs about is something that it turns out not to be a freaking joke. Like, you really should have listened to what the heck they said. So I kind of had a feeling at this point that the hogs was going to definitely show themselves true, okay, to what this man was telling him. At the same time, Al, you are not from this area. And if the people in this area who've lived here for years, this is their way of life, and they're telling you what's what, you need to freaking listen, So, like I said, he's laughing, he's not taking it serious, but the man tells him that a pack of hogs killed a woman in Texas about a year ago, and they chewed her behind up. All right. And Alfred is like, just still laughing, like, okay, man, whatever. So he goes home and he lays down the trap. Not the trap, but he lays down bait, and it didn't work, obviously. The hog turned over the cart and everything and got to that weed. So the next day, we see Al on this tractor that he's been working on. And he really did not, I don't understand why he didn't just buy a brand new one that he didn't have to hook up. All he had to do was just put some gas in it and get going. He didn't do any of that. I guess he wanted to feel like he was really working towards something. So for some days he was working on this tractor, trying to get it to start. And he finally got it to start, and he was very excited about it. So now he's, riding on through the farm. I guess you could say this is a farm, but the land hasn't been, it hasn't been fertilized, or, he hasn't been planting nothing but the weed. So now, unfortunately, as he's driving, he's having a good old time. I actually enjoyed the music that they were playing. It sounded like it was Andre 3000. So I enjoyed that. But then all of a sudden he hits like this bump, and now the tractor is leaning. And unfortunately, he winds up falling and the tractor falls on top of him. So he gets hurt really bad to the point where he has blood coming out of his mouth. Something's going on in the back of his head. His foot is stuck in the tractor. So he has to really painfully pull that foot out. So it was a lot going on, but he finally did it. So now he has to crawl his way back. And the whole time I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's getting dark. Them hogs are coming. Because I was taking it very serious while he wasn't, right? So we see the Amazon truck comes and drops off the skillet, right? So he did wind up ordering the skillet. And he's like, help, help, I know you see me, help. He's screaming help. But the chick can't hear him because she has headphones on. Now, I'm sorry if I'm delivering, I guess it's my New York state of mind, but if I'm delivering anything and I'm going to people's houses and I don't care, I'm not having no headphones in my ear. I need to know what's going on around me. I need to be keen to all the sounds. Like, I just have to be aware. That's just me. That this chick got headphones on covering both ears. I mean, looked almost like it could have been old school, like a Walkman or something. But anyway, the point is she didn't hear him. But he keeps going. He finally gets, look, it's definitely dark at this point now, but he finally gets to his steps. And he's so daggone tired that he can't even make it inside. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Al, you have to go. You need to get your behind inside, okay? Yes, Tina, be alert. You have to get inside, Al. This is not a freaking joke. And child, before you know it, he sees one of the hogs. And, I was like, yo, he is about to get it. Before this, he opens the package and looks at the skillet and he just kind of throws it over. And I'm like, bro, you're going to need that skillet. You should not have done that. So the hog is there. And before this, I was like, why did he only get attacked by one hog? Like, I thought they were going to jump him, right? Because I'm like, I could have sworn I saw another hog. So when I watched it the second time, I noticed that it was two hogs over there to the left, but they were babies. So I didn't know that. So this is like the mama protecting, because she just went straight, looked at him and just charged. And I'm sorry, but I was cracking up the way his body just like flung into that little shelf back there. And and the way he was hitting on the hog, it was just hilarious. This fight was hilarious. And then he finally got to the skillet and he was just banging the crap out of that thing with the skillet. And all I could think about is adrenaline could do some wonders for your life, okay? Because we already know that he is hurt. His foot is toe up. And he got up on his feet mad quick when that hog was charging at him, and he is fighting and screaming the whole time. Most of the screaming probably comes from the fact that he's in pain with his foot. You know what I'm saying? So that was something right there. But he eventually kills the hog, and I don't even know why that picture came. So anyway, so he gets in, the phone is ringing. He's panting and all of this stuff. So why did I know? It's Ern calling, but why did I know that after all the panting and all the stuff, that when he answered the phone, he was going to try to act like everything was chill? Why did I know that? I mean, and I'm just like, why though? Like, you're here, you're out here by yourself. You don't need to act chill for nothing. Just tell him what's going on. So he's just like, yeah, everything's good. And Ern is like, just kind of touching base with him about business stuff. And then he says, but you sound tired. Is everything all right? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And let me talk to you later. So the next day we see him cooking bacon. And I said, no, he did not cook that daggone hog, right? But we do see moments later that it's actual bacon. We see a package of bacon. I said a pack of bacon in the garbage. And it's pretty thick and all that. And then you also, when he goes outside to put the garbage outside in the big trash can, the freaking hog is in the trash. So now he's sitting on the porch and, he's talking to Ern. And this time he's FaceTiming him. So now Ern can kind of see like something is going on. Like, he's a Band-Aid. Like, what happened to your face? And what was going on yesterday? And he was like, nah, everything was good. I was out there with the tractor, this and that. So we also see here that he's icing his foot. He's got it wrapped up and everything. And, Ern is just telling him like, the whole purpose of you going out there is to get options. It's that you have options. You don't have to be there. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay out there. And if it's not working out, just come back home. Plus, farms are so dangerous. Like, it's they're dangerous to the point where you can step on a freaking rake and no one would know. Like, we wouldn't know about your death basically until like weeks later or so, because you're by yourself. So he was also telling him that he just basically needs to be careful. And then they started having this little fun conversation about like how Black people can get sunburn, like whether Black people can get sunburn, because he looked at his face like, it looks like you're sunburned. Al is like, Black people can't get sunburned. They start going down the line of all the blackest men in Hollywood, Wesley Snipes still, and somebody else from Somalia. So it was kind of cute. I liked that whole thing. All right. But anyway, that was the episode, guys. And I enjoyed it. I was cracking up. So anytime something has me laughing, of course, I enjoy it, because I definitely need to laugh these days. All right. Hey, Samara. How are you, honey? All right. So now we're going to get into the next episode, which is the last episode. It's called It Was All a Dream. So in this episode, it starts off with Alan, Ern, and Darius, and they're getting ready to go to this opening. Well, it's not an opening, but it's a sushi restaurant that they're going to go eat at. And they're going to meet up with Van. So Alan and Ern are going, and Darius says that he's going to meet up with them because he has some errands to run and an appointment for his sensory deprivation session. Okay. Now, the reason why they're going to this sushi bar is because one of Van's friends, I said sushi restaurant, is because one of Van's friends invested in it, and it's like the only and I think the first Black sushi restaurant in Atlanta or whatever. So they just want to go there. Ern is given this whole thing about, we have to support our people and blah, 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 because meanwhile, there's a Popeyes across the street, and Al is just really into that. Like, oh, can you smell it? Like, oh my gosh, I just need to get me a sandwich over there. Okay, so now we also see in that Darius is picking up prescription. And the lady tells him, we don't have the prescription here. We don't know what you're talking about. He's like, well, I just got the notification. Why wouldn't you, can you please check again? So while she's checking, we get Cree Summer, guys. I don't know what her character's name was in this episode, but Cree Summer from A Different World. And so it was nice to see her. So she is talking to Darius, and she's like, are you talking about the sensory deprivation? And I just started doing that as well. And they just kind of had this little talk going on, and she was sharing some things, and about, I guess he asked her a question about anxiety and stuff like, are you here to pick up medication for anxiety? I didn't really understand why he asked that, but I think it's because he has been dealing with some anxiety. You can see that throughout this episode, he was definitely dealing with something. And that he says that the deprivation chamber or session or whatever that is, it helps kind of clear his mind and all that stuff. But it seems like it's kind of an escape. Like, as we go throughout this episode, we see that it's a lot of escape going on, and we see why. And we're going to talk about that too as well. So before he leaves, he tells the lady, because she was also sharing that, no, I'm not here for that. I've tried everything before, but, I tried Zoloft, I tried this, I tried that for my anxiety. But you know what? I realized that a diet change and doing different things with my lifestyle has helped me. I'm a vegan now and all this stuff. My baby father thinks I'm crazy, but it works for me. So before he left, he felt the need to tell her that she has a beautiful spirit. And I thought that was really a sweet moment and very nice. And because in real life, people need to hear that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You literally don't know in one moment that you can probably save somebody's life by saying something kind. And I'm not saying she was going to do something to herself. I'm just saying you just never know sometimes, right? So, because people be having it hard, and you just, like, you would never know, right? So anyway, back at the restaurant, we get Van, and Van's there, like I said, and Ern and Al, right? And all Al is thinking about is the freaking Popeyes across the street, and he's facing it as well. Okay, so Van is like, all right, I promise that we'll go there afterwards, all right? And this guy, Ern, is like, well, I thought you wanted to be here. She was like, I do want to be here, but I mean, like the Popeyes, like I can't stop thinking about Popeyes. And she, of course, she wants to support her friend, right? But she has to admit that she just can't stop thinking about the Popeyes. All right. Meanwhile, they're like, the chef wants to meet you. Like the waiter says that the chef would like to meet you before we get started. And also before that, Van was telling Paperboy that they're very excited that you're here, like they're fans of your work and all that stuff. So now the chef comes out and he introduces himself, and then he's like, sup? And then he was like, what's up? I'm like, what the heck? What is this? So they always have to have some type of funny situation going on up in Atlanta all the freaking time. All right. So anyway, back to Darius. Oh my gosh. So he meets up with this crazy friend, like a blast from the past, I guess. And she's like, have you been dodging me? He's like, no, you must be dodging me because I tried to reach out to you like 2 months ago. And she's like, I don't keep the same number. I change my number every few months. So her name is London, guys. Okay. And he should have never gotten in the car with her because she is on some other stuff. She even said to him before, like, I thought you was wild. And he was like, no, that was always you. You're the wild one. So she offers him a ride. They get in, and she winds up getting pulled over by the cops, guys. Okay. So she gets pulled over by the cops, and honey, she's like, hand me my glasses. And hand me my glasses. So he hands her the shades, and she's like getting in the mirror. She's like, I gotta have my props for y'all sometimes. She's getting in the mirror, and she pulls down the mirror, and she's like, you are sober, London. And Darius is looking at her like, what the heck? Let me tell you one thing I like about Darius. He's one of my favorite characters. So he's already weird. So when someone else does something weird, for him to just like, he just be looking like, yo, what the heck is going on? For him to find it weird is like, that you done topped him if Darius is looking at you like you're freaking crazy. Whoever this actress is, she did such a good job because she had me rolling. Hey, Daria and Mike. Hey. So she had me rolling. So now the cop is like, ma'am, because she's like, what seems to be the problem, officer? First of all, they were smoking weed. Let's not forget, guys, that he was like, is that some water? Darius was like, is that water? Because, like he's thirsty. She was like, unless you want to get effed up, like, because that's some vodka up in it. I get lit, right? So, so the cop is like, she's like, what seems to be the problem, officer? And he says, well, I think he said one of your tail lights is out or something like that. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry, it's my mama car. Right. And he was like, your mama drives a murder decked out Impala, something like that. He said, I'm like, why the heck does this officer know these type of terminologies any freaking way? Like, what is going on? Right. So anyway, she's like, my mama got a stun on him. Right. So he was like, ma'am, have you been drinking? She was like, of course not. And so he was like, what is that? Pointing to the water. Like, my thing is, unless you can smell it on her breath, what would make you think that that's, vodka in her water bottle? And she kind of told on herself, though, was like, no, it's not. If it was vodka, would I do this? And she just the girl goes and gulps down the rest of the freaking vodka. And like I said, Darius is looking at her like, yo, whoa, slow down. Listen, guys, it's nothing worse. First of all, growing up in Brooklyn, you definitely, if you're going outside, you're going to get yourself in one of these situations. Like, I'm not saying you have to, but if you're with different people and I don't got time to get into it, but I've been in situations like this before where you're just like, what the heck have I gotten myself into? And why am I here? And this is the reason why you have to be around people that you just totally know and trust, because at any moment you're going to be in a situation like this. Okay. So this chick is guzzling this sucker down. And then she was like, ah. Did she say, I forgot time she said, or one of them things that she had something hard, okay? And the cop is just like, all right, ma'am, like look at her face. Please, girl. Your face is burning right now. Your eyes are burning. Your chest is burning. All of that. Okay. And you're about to breathe fire out your mouth. So the cop is just like, ma'am, you step out the car. So she's getting out the car. And what's his name? Darius is like, okay, act white, So she was, yo, guys, she was cracking me up. Like she was on some voguing, like touch your nose, do this. It was too much. And then the officer, he asked her how many series of Homeboys in Outer Space was there. And you're like, what the heck? So the whole time Darius is watching, and he just has this kind of amused look on his face. He's like chuckling a little bit, like, what the heck is going on? So after she answers the question right about Homeboys in Outer Space, he lets her go. And Darius is like, what? So, the cop has his back turned to her, and she decides to take his gun out of the holster. I say, child, what is she doing? And Darius is saying the same thing, like, what are you doing? She was like, I don't know. Getting in the car with the gun, with the gun. And she drives off, but she hits a pedestrian. I was like, this is just insane, guys. I was hollering. I'm sorry. It was insane. It was funny. I loved it. But it turned out to be a dream. But as London was running away, she says, this is all your fault. So I kind of picked up on that, wondering why she said that. And this was a dream. So what happened to London? Is she really around anymore? And I don't know. So that kind of just made me wonder if that was some type of little hidden message they had in there. But there's definitely a lot going on with Darius in this episode. Okay. So he wakes up from this dream, and now he goes into the tea room, and they did just keep saying tea room, tea room, tea room. And he's looking, and he's like, yo, why do y'all keep saying tea room? And it's just, listen, guys, look at this. I mean, a bunch of laughing white women. And look, nothing against white folks, but this is scary. I'm sorry, this is scary. This was a very creepy moment. Just get the heck out of town. This is another, he was in Get Out. All right. And so I thought it was kind of cute that he found himself in this very weird situation. But he's over here thinking like, this has to be a dream, or they must be dreaming. So let me like wake them up. So he shakes one of the ladies, and he's like, wake up. This gets him kicked out of the place. All right. So now we get back to the restaurant, and Al is still focused on the chicken, and he just wants the chicken. Like at this point, like they're not feeling the food. They feel like the food is cold, and they're pretty upset that, I'm sorry, not cold. They said the sushi is kind of warm, and they're pretty upset. Well, Al is upset that the chef is rolling the sushi with his bare hands. Okay. And they're just not feeling this whole situation. So, he wants to get some real food across the street. Popeyes is just calling his name. Okay. But when the waiter comes, he's like, can you, what are you guys okay with the food? And look, they're just not feeling it. It's totally gross. I said that already. But then Al says, I would like to go to the bathroom. Can you hook me up with that? So he gives the waiter gives him the key to the bathroom. But now back to Darius. So Darius goes to this guy's house, who at this time, I don't know who he is, and I'm wondering who he is. When he gets to the door, he says, is it okay for me to hug you? And the guy is like, yeah, of course. I can't get any sicker. And it made me wonder, okay, what is this disease that he's battling? He's taking medication. And that was the reason why Darius went to the pharmacy, because he was picking up his brother's medication. So this guy is his brother, and his brother says, would you like some jollof? And they're Nigerian, so that's their I think that's their rice and everything. But also his brother tells him, you didn't have to do that because they deliver it. And he's like, I just wanted to do something nice for you. So this is probably the reason why when he got there, the lady said, we don't have that medication, right? Because we find out that this is another like hallucination or a dream, because when the brother goes into the kitchen to get the jollof, we see Darius looking at a picture, and he's like, I miss, how's mom, how's dad. First he says, I miss you, how's mom, how's dad, right? And that's when we see him looking at a picture of him and his brother. So one thing that I do like about this whole thing is that I've always wondered about Darius and like his background, his family. Like you just never knew anything about his family and nothing like that. So I've always wondered like I just need more from him. Where is his family? His family is totally gone. And his weird moments, that whole thing where he's always kind of like connect with the universe or energy. Like he just has, he has this weird way of coping. I don't want to say weird. I don't want to call it weird because some people might cope like that. So I don't want nobody to get offended. But you cannot deny that Darius gives off the weird vibes. Like we're not going to sit here and pretend, right? He just goes about his grief in the best and most healthiest way possible. To this point, we've never really seen Darius be sad about anything. And we see that, he goes through his moments where he is sad and he misses his family, he misses his brother and things like that. So I was very satisfied with the fact that they did show us what was going on with this guy, with this character, even in the last episode that they're gonna have, right? So that was cool. And so we also see that he looks at the television, and throughout this episode, that's all Darius was watching was Judge Judy. So we see Judge Judy done turned into Big Booty Judy, and this is what he explained to Cree at the I want to say the Rite Aid, but it was at the pharmacy. He told her that anytime if he sees Judge Judy and she's thick, that's how he knows that he's still in the chamber. Like he's, he's still in the tank. And that's how he can separate reality from his dreams. So now he knows because Judge Judy is walking away and she's packing, stacking. So he's dreaming. So he wakes up from the dream, okay, guys? And now we get back to the restaurant. And this guy, Alfred, done had a freaking nut because he had to go across the street to the bathroom to Rainbow. Like, that's ghetto as heck, okay? Like, after all of this, we hear the guy DeMarcus is the owner. He comes out. I know I'm skipping. I'm going to get there in a minute. I'm going to go back, but I'm skipping. But he tried to give this whole little speech about, even to the point where it seems like he's talking about, the ghetto and, do you need hot sauce on that? Because, he's saying that their minds are not really ready for this. And if their minds are not ready for this, the sushi and all of that, and the blowfish, why are you serving blowfish in the hood? And then on top of that, you're being as ghetto as ever by making people have to go to the freaking bathroom across the street in Rainbow. So that's it. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that part. All right. So like I said, Al, he's had enough. He's ready to freaking go. He's just like, you know what? I don't went to the bathroom. This dude, this waiter right here, he comes out and he's like, how is the bathroom? Like, what the heck question is that, first of all? So I was kind of laughing at that. And then also Al's response, like, it was far, nigga. Okay. It was far. That's how the freaking bathroom was. Okay. So he's like, look, the guy's like, don't leave yet because we're about to serve the main dish, and that's the blowfish and all that. Blowfish are highly poisonous fish, and it takes a skilled hand to prepare it. And DeMarcus, he overlooked Chef Kenny while he was making it and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So as they're getting ready to leave, he's like, we got to leave. We got a rap thing we're kind of late for. And Van is over back there talking about, yeah, we're overbooked. Like she was with it the whole time. Van was with it. Okay. And this is her friend situation. So we get brother DeMarcus coming out, like, you're going to Popeyes, aren't you? And it was just like, oh, snap. He's, like I said, he came through with the whole lecture. And then he starts talking about how the night of Queen and Slim, like when it premiered, because the movie theater is like 2 blocks away. And he said this play, because everybody left the theater feeling like, yeah, I want to, I want to support Black people and stuff, my people. They came and flooded this place up. And he said 15 minutes later, the place was empty. All right. And the Yelp reviews were all the same. This nigga serving poison fish. And I was just like, yeah, because, you know, if you go into the hood, you have to give them the type of food that they're used to, you know, the fried chicken. And I hate to say that because it sounds so like stereotypical, but why are there Crown fried chickens in the hood? Why do they make sure that they have, you know, certain corner stores and liquor spots? You know, like why? Because this is it. And why you gonna, so if you know that this is the area that you live around and everything, why in the heck are you gonna think that, you know, this new cultural thing that you're doing with the sushi is gonna be something that's accepted, especially when you're serving poisonous fish? Like, I mean, come on. Hey, the homie, like, it's not cute at all. So, like I said, you know, he did make some very good points. He's like, yeah, I want to go over there to that coon, the modern day coon fried chicken. I was like, dang, he's really hitting them. You know, of course, you know, the writers are going to definitely make sure that we get some jewels out of this. Like, even though there's some funny stuff going on, they're going to make sure that we get some jewels dropped on us. And I love that. Okay. But the dude was very, you know, very menacing, you know, very. This guy starts talking a whole bunch of stuff and he starts freaking. So listen, Al is like, all right, I get it, you know, I get it now. And he's like, you know, okay, if you get it, then eat the fish. And he's like, what? You know, like, yeah, eat the fish. Or do you need hot sauce? Ha ha. Look how he's laughing. And guys, when I saw this, I said, yo, he reminds me of Clarence Williams III in that movie, Tales from the Hood. I was like, just the creepiest situation ever. Okay. And then, honey, he tells them, his people, to lock the door. Okay. I also do like when he kind of like went up to I'm sorry, I keep saying he went up to Al and he was like, you know, they always tell you watch out from New Orleans, watch out from New York niggas. They going any minute they going to hit a lick, you know. So just kind of showing that we don't trust each other, like black people don't trust each other. But you could go over there and eat that fried chicken which is a whole lie. It's a whole lie. It's a bunch of, you know, they trying to act like it's, you know, somebody over there black involved, but it's a lie. It's you eating something from the white man. Okay. But you can't be over here and supporting your own, right? Okay. Totally makes sense. But like I said, after that, he told us to lock the doors. And the waiter goes over there and tries to lock the door. But my man Darius comes through like Superman, or, you know, we gonna keep it black. He comes through like, give me a black, I don't want to say T'Challa, Black Lightning or Luke Cage. I don't know. Let's do that. So he comes in, he kind of pushes the waiter out the door. I mean, pushes him away from the door and then goes and punches DeMarcus. And I'm like, yes. He's like, get my pink Maserati. Get my pink Maserati. Like, since when did you have a Maserati? Look how Al is looking at him. Hey, pretty girl. Look how Al is looking at him first of all right? Like, what in the world is going on? So they leave, you know, they spinning, they doing the donuts or whatever, just spinning around. And it's just hilarious, this whole situation. And very adventurous. I love how they ended this. I don't really know what I was expecting. I was hoping that they wouldn't end this series on some bull crap. I was satisfied with how they ended it, you know. And then he came in clutch with the Popeyes. Like, look how excited my people are. Like, look at Al. Like, yes. Oh, so we got the music going on, so you can't hear how excited they are. But there's a song going on, and look, Ern is just excited. And so we get back to the apartment, and they're just talking about like, oh my gosh, that's the best fried chicken I ever had. You know, when you about to die, food probably tastes real good, you know. And so now Ern is saying, Al is saying, where did you get that car from, bruh? You know? And he's like, I stole it. Like, he does not care. Darius, I'm talking about. I stole it. And they're like, what? You stole it? What are you talking about? Like, you're not afraid you're going to get in trouble? He's like, I'm not going to get in trouble. No, I'm not worried about that. I'm still in the tank. So Ern is like, bro, you're not in the tank. This is real. And you're here with your friends. Okay. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Poor freaking Darius done lost track of being in a dream or being in reality. Okay. So that was the only ambiguous thing that they kind of left us with that whole thing was he really in a dream at this point, right? So they're like, you know what, forget all this. Al is like, forget all this. Y'all want to smoke some of my weed? Come on, let's go. So they go to the back and they go ahead and they light it up back there. And he tells them, you know, I'll be there soon. So he's there and he's watching Judge Judy once again. And you can see he's in thought and everything, but then he's looking at the screen and he smiles. So for me, this kind of has to indicate that Judge Judy is thick Judge Judy, right? And so what does that mean to him? That means that he's in a dream. Meanwhile, we could hear sirens in the freaking background, okay? So that told me that he was not in the freaking dream. Somebody, you know, whoever got that Maserati, they definitely have a tracking device on it, and they come in to get their car. So this man, unfortunately, is probably going to go to jail for a little while. I don't know. I would hate to put that out there because, like I said, Darius is one of my favorite characters. So Darius is one of my favorite characters. So, you know, we don't know what the heck is going to happen at this point, but I don't think he was dreaming, guys. I think what happened is that he lost touch with reality and with being in reality and in the dream. So did I say hi to you, pretty girl? I hope so. So that's pretty much that, guys. But that is how the episode ended. And you know, while Darius is watching this, there's a song on, and the words are saying, "There's a place that I go in my head when I'm feeling low." So once again, it's just kind of showing me that he probably does this all the time. Like, we've seen Darius be by himself a lot. And I kind of feel like this time they really dived into what that's all about. Like, he has to separate himself from his friends every now and then because he really goes into these moments of sadness. And this is why he's always been doing like these things that are kind of like seem to be outlandish and stuff like that, because this is his coping mechanism. And I think that's another reason why he asked the lady about, you know, if she's there to pick up some anxiety meds or something like that, because he's probably feeling something like that. That's just pretty much what I kind of got out of it. Don't know if I'm on the right track, but I don't know. It's what I got. So that was it, guys. And pretty much I enjoyed the series. Sorry that it had to go. I will also mention that for a long time, I was afraid of how the series would end when it came to Al. Okay. When I first watched it, we saw Al shoot someone. I think that was in the first episode. And I always wondered if that would come back to him. And I'm very, very, very happy that they didn't go that route. So for me, it ended very well. All right. So anyway, that is that, guys. That's my recap. That was episodes 8 through 10. Like I said before, I still owe you guys episodes number 5, 6, and 7. And you will get those. All right. So I just had to get this out of here so that I can move on and let's go to the other content. Also, The Watcher, I have to finish that as well. No worries. I got you covered. All right. So, oh, thank you, Samara. I'm glad I went live as well. Yeah, I'm glad I went live too. So, guys, I will see you in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Tuesday night is the Wyeth. I'm really trying to make sure that I definitely be there because I know I've been kind of canceling, but this is my last week coming up in the school. So I should be okay because a lot of times like I'd be really exhausted coming from the school. So yeah, I think I'll be okay to do the Wyeth. But if not, just know that that's the reason why. Because your girl's tired. And I'm done at this point with trying to push myself too much because I need to make sure that I'm healthy. It really took me too long to get over what I was like going through. Like when I had my cold, it took too long. And I'm like, what am I doing? Am I doing too much to the point where it's like, it's not helping me heal fast the way I need to? Like, like is my body sleep deprived, all that stuff, because getting rest really helps you to heal. And yeah, so I'm kind of done. I love you guys, but I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to get, the content out and stuff like that. Like if you're not a subscriber that has like over 50,000 subscribers or 100K, a million, blah, 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 you can't take that much time from your channel. Like the numbers are not going to do good. Like I'm like, I know the people that's in the chat right now and the people that follow me now, y'all support me, are going to be there. But it's really, this game is on some real out of sight, out of mind stuff. Okay. I know. So that's what I got to say about that. But honestly, at this point, it is what it is. Like it's an out of sight, out of mind type of thing, but I have to take care of myself. And I'm trying my best to go that route. All right. But it doesn't mean that the content is going to stop. But if I feel tired and I have something scheduled, I will cancel it because I can't be going too crazy. Like that's that. But I love you guys. Pretty girl, Daria, Dahomey, Tina, Mike Conley, who else? Stream Elements, and Marcus Terry. You guys take care and be blessed. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Good night. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye. Yes, girl, health is wealth.